Welcome to Walled Off, people.
Welcome, guys. Welcome to episode 2. Hey, buckle up. Nina and I, we go into our feminine energy today and talk
Yep.
about a new metaphor and theme for season 2, which is the moon, the power of the moon, and how that relates to being a woman, a strong woman coming into our late 20s, early 30s, all this good energy. So today's good. It's really good.
Yeah, it's a vulnerable episode for
It
sure.
is. It
We
is.
get into an ego death I had this week, then into the concept of the moon, something that we loosely heard and then just ran with.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we also talk about femininity and what that means to us and how it's not trad wife content. So please,
No.
no, that's not what
It
we're about.
No, I mean, it's be whatever type of woman you wanna be, but we're not trying to point at a specific thing. It's a deeper
Yeah,
message about our connection to ourselves, and I
exactly.
take all of our stories and everything as our stories, and I talk a lot about my situation with my body and my health, and so, again, this is just this is like a sharing episode and how we got to this beautiful metaphor. Um,
And it's
it's
all about
it's interesting.
yeah, it's all about finding your uncovering your own power, listening to your own internal voice, how that
Yes.
comes up, what that means to us, and how our true wisdom lies within that. And of course, always contributes to like how we're going to take that ability to be connected with that power and then approach life like business and parenthood and relationships and friendships and like how that having that as a grounding force can change the trajectory of your life. And I
Mhm.
think that's what we're just getting into. So if you're interested in that, take a listen.
Yeah, stay tuned, and sorry at the end, we kind of abruptly exit because we were being silly. We gotta keep a little mystery alive, and that was not keeping the mystery alive.
So sorry about that. But we love you and we'll catch you on the next one.
Love you.
Welcome back, people. We missed you.
Hi. Hi, Neen.
Hi, C.
Um, you're so cute in your closet, in your little winter wardrobe, and I'm sitting here in my normal spot, but it's literally 80 degrees outside.
I'm jealous. I'm over it. We're apparently supposed to get snow this weekend. Um, I don't know. But Sam got
This
me
is
this vest, so I'm just like every time I get something new, I just get obsessed with it. Then I wear it into the ground, and that's what I'm doing right now.
Yeah, it's very cute. I'll say I'm not complaining. Like, literally, I'm so happy about this, but it to anyone that listened to the last episode, it doesn't really go with the, like, we have no seasons, obviously. Like, we do, but we're really not getting a winter this year. Like, even backtracking in November, like, I don't think I've put on really any of my coats, and that's not normal. Like, normally, I've been out here for 4 years, like, it's actually more likely you're wearing a coat, a jacket, more days of the year than you're in a short sleeve hot. Like, that sounds ironic. So, does that make sense? Like,
No, it does
it's sunny and 70, but it's always cool, and then at night it's pretty
because it's
cold.
so dry over there.
Yeah, it's dry, and it's,
Yeah.
like, 50, you need a jacket. So, like,
Yeah.
it'll be 50 degrees at night in, like, the summer. It's weird. This, like, it's literally hot out, like, I should go to the beach tomorrow
Mm.
the end of January. Like, I'm gonna embrace it. It's gonna be yum, but, like, it doesn't go with, like, the nesting calms. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, it's unnatural, I feel like, since I didn't grow up like this.
I think that's the kicker since you didn't grow up like that
Yeah.
because I don't know, your environment really does shape you.
Mhm.
And, like, there is
Mhm.
an air about people from California and, like, or people from Florida where it's like they're always on vacation time type energy. If you live, like,
Exactly.
in an island town, you're always in vacation time. Yeah, I don't know. That's definitely because we grew up that way, that we like it. But I'm
Yeah.
also like, I wanna be in 80-degree weather. I would
I
love that.
know. Shout out Anna. I was hanging out with my friend Anna yesterday, and we were talking about how, like, the no seasons thing is actually, like, amazing because it's, like, this weird, like, when it's sunny out, you're like, "I wanna go out and be productive and, like, do my things," and, like, you get this energized thing from it, and I also feel like we're, like, supposed to be soaking up the sun, but then it's, like, you feel guilty for taking a break or taking a you know what I
Yeah,
mean? So it's,
totally,
like, kinda
totally.
toxic because there's also, like, no markers,
Yeah, that's
so
interesting.
interesting. Anyway, had to make that all about me, but, like, it is just very ironic because, like, you it's like a cold January, I feel like, for the rest of the country.
Yeah, like crazy winter
Like, really cold.
storms. I know, I hope everyone is safe and warm out there.
Yeah.
And if you're in California, live it up for the ones that
Yeah,
can't.
that's right. How was your week?
It was good. It was chill. A chill
Chill.
week. It was, some weeks are just plot filler and some are for the plot.
Mhm.
For me, I had a plot filler week where it was just like
Okay.
kind of like going through the motions, doing the things. Oh,
Routine?
yeah, I guess Monday though I did have kind of an ego death that I texted you
Oh,
about.
yeah.
Sorry, my dog just laid down next to this table and then shook the
Oh,
entire table.
wait,
What?
before
Tell
ego
me.
death I'm sorry, before ego death, the question I was gonna ask you is you got a new kitten? Nina, tell everyone about your animals. I'm
I have a
sorry, we
farm.
just for 1 minute.
Okay, so I have a couple animals and I will put pictures up here because I have too many. I might
You
as well
have
share.
to. You have
None
to.
of them have social medias.
They're
We don't
all very cute. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
they're so cute. So I have Bear, and that's my big boy. He's sitting right next to me right now. He's like a big pit bull Vizsla mix. He looks like a big chocolate lab, pretty much. Then I have Nova, who's my second. And she is like a 40-pound Australian Shepherd mix with some kind of either like wild animal or hound dog or something. She's very insane and I love
Wolfie.
her to death. And she is the inspiration for Nova Linda. And then I have my cat, my first cat, Mikasa. We call her Mika. She is a standoffish bitch, but like I say that in the most endearing way. Like she's just so and she's the moon. You got
Yeah,
me?
she's the
She's
moon.
so in her own energy. She does her own thing. She only wants attention when she wants it, and when she wants it, she demands it. She's an inspiration to me and everything. Anytime she's mean to me, I'm like, yes, she is
Yeah.
queen of a boundary. She's taught me a lot about that. Um, and then we have our newest kitten, Fergus, and Fergus,
Fergus!
he's so
That's
cute.
so cute.
He's a little void. He's like an all black. He has some gray in there too, but he's all black, green eyes. We named him Fergus because I don't know why, but we were inspired by the Irish, so we go Fergus, Fergus,
Fergus.
Fergus, because I feel
I
like
love that.
he has a personality like that. But
Yeah, like he's just like a little old guy drinking a brew at the pub,
exactly, he's
getting
like
down to
such a lad.
business.
He's such a
Yes,
lad.
he's a
He's the
little lad.
sweetest little kitten. He like sleeps on my neck every night.
Wait, does
I'll put so
everyone
many
love
pictures
each
up.
other?
Yeah, well, Mika, of course, is not pleased. She's going through
Mhm.
an emotional.
She's going through her own ego death.
Yeah, no, literally, literally. It
Wait,
took
each
her.
of your animals are like a piece of you guys. Like,
I know. It's
it's kind of
crazy.
crazy. Now you got 2 boys and 2 girls, and I'm sure there's a lot of like dynamics that are like the animals are our teachers. Like, you know what I mean?
Animals, kids. It's just anytime
Everyone.
the way Sam put it, which I really loved, was like anytime you're put in a position to take care of like a helpless creature, you learn a
Mhm.
lot about yourself.
Mhm.
You
Very
learn
true.
a
Yeah.
lot about yourself and like you have
That is
to.
truth,
And that
right?
contributes to my ego death. I'm not gonna go into like total detail, but
Yeah.
pretty much, because I feel like I have to take responsibility for certain things. It's as you find out certain things about yourself, like
Mhm.
you look back on things that you shared or advice that you gave, and you're like, wait a damn minute. I don't know if that was actually it was the best I could do at the moment. In hindsight, I'm gonna rephrase. Um, but pretty much we were chatting about something and it just came up how how I've like been on I'm always very much someone who's like take care of yourself first, like it's okay to be selfish, like don't
Yeah.
be like, there's obviously a balance here, but like don't be someone who like don't give away all your energy, protect your energy, like and I'm like always preaching that and I'm very
Mhm.
much into that. Um well, I had a little bit of a realization of about how much trauma was coming through when I was saying things like that. Like it
Your own trauma?
yes.
Yeah.
Like self-preservation is key type thing.
Yeah.
And I kind of had a moment where I was like, I think I've like worn this badge of like take care of yourself first and then others after as a form of like protecting myself because that's like an old
Mhm.
pattern that I had when I was younger and like how I coped with a lot of stuff was
Mhm.
really leaning into protecting myself and taking care of myself and not saying that that's a bad thing. I think like, there's a balance to it, but I don't think I realized how much self-preservation in a like, I was, like, preserving myself above all else. Whereas,
Yeah.
like, now in life, if I do that, like hi, Betty, I know.
Hi.
It's like now in life that if I do that, it affects the other people around me way more than it did when I was a kid because I have so many creatures and people that rely on me. And I just had like a big moment. That
Whoa.
yeah, it was very deep. It made me feel like really bad about myself too in certain ways where I was just like kind of like mad at myself, like grieving a little bit because I was like why did I become it was like because it was coming from like a rigid place, if that makes sense.
Yeah, okay, first of all, so understandable, like, the whole arc, and then also that you're feeling that way by yourself. Because 'cause I've had some similar situations. Honestly, Nina, we just have so many similar, it's weird.
I know, Caroline.
Um, so I get this whole thing, and I'm someone that I think people do come to for advice or, like, I can be a good listener. Sometimes I interrupt and I, like, overshare, but for the most part, I think I can be, like, a solid advice giver and some of that stuff, and I feel the same way, like, I look back or whatever, but what you need to do now is realize, like, that's you doing your absolute fucking best. Like,
Right,
right? Like, so to
right.
look back and be like, "Oh my god, what like, you're so dumb. Like, what were you saying? What were you doing? You think you know everything." Well, like, yeah, because you're growing up, you wouldn't get to this moment now where you're having the ego death without all of that. So there's literally, like, the shame and the disappointment in yourself can be, like, momentary like, a moment, and it's fine because it's just natural. Like, everyone feels that way. But, like, I'm telling you, like, thank God for that version of Nina because it also keeps you alive. It keeps you
No,
strong,
absolutely, and, like,
you
that's
know?
another I'm like, no wonder I thrive in, like, horrible
Mhm.
situations.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, your tolerance.
I know how to, like, preserve the self, but it's
Mhm.
not but, like, but I think too, there's a piece of it here that lives in, like, lack and, like, there's not enough time, there's not enough space, and, like, because I know how we always go back and forth on, like, having, like, an abundance mindset, and, like, what does that
Yeah.
mean? How to fully, like, embody that. I've always had this thing where I'm like, "Something is holding me back here where I can't fully, like, let go into the" like, there's this, like, rigidness, this control coming through, and I think it was coming through that angle where I was, like, as much as I say I wanna, like, lift people up, like, I at the time, I was like, "I need to lift myself up before I can lift anyone else up," which I still believe in that, but I
Mhm.
think that there's just been more of a transition in the mind where I was coming from a place where, like, I know this is the right way to live, so now I'm
Mhm.
open to more possibility, and I think that's where the ego death comes through. Because I feel like
Yeah.
I mean, ego death, you don't just have one and you're done, like, it's like chipping
All the
away at
time.
a yeah.
Yeah. It's chipping away at a big one, and then there's also, like, I feel like a bunch of small ones.
Mhm.
Some more surface level than others, but, like, I'm proud of you. I think too, like, that specific topic of, like, taking care of yourself before others and putting others first, like, that to me is a flow because there are times where you're more forced to take one route over the other.
Right.
So, like, my last 5 years of, like, shifting between taking care of myself and others, like, there are moments where I'm like, "Ugh, the guilt is eating me alive to focus on myself, but if I don't, I will die." So, like, it feels like that, like, I'm not going to, but, like, it felt like if I don't choose myself over these trips and people and taking care of others and, oh, like, it's just gonna keep getting worse and worse and worse, and then, like,
Mhm.
you have to, and then you get, like, a little bit like, "Whoa, all I'm doing is talking about myself, thinking about myself, taking care of myself. I kinda need to switch back into, like, these animals and these people that need me." So I feel like it's, like, it goes back and forth, but I think what you're saying to the point is maybe your openness to how that looks and flows through your life is expanding. Like, it doesn't have to be like a one-way
Yeah.
version of it. Is that correct?
Yes, like, where I was like, "You take care of" I was just
Yeah. Like, there was,
I've
like,
always
rules about
had
it.
yes, I've and that's
Yeah.
what I mean, this, like, rigidness where I
Mhm. But that's a part of
have
your Taurus, stubborn discipline, all the it's beautiful,
of course, and, like
you
but
know?
I've found that areas in my life where I am rigid are probably areas that need more attention, and I didn't
Mm.
even realize that the rigidness was there, and how that showed up was, like, I was, like, procrastinating, like, doing stuff for, like, the people around me and just continuously doing things for myself,
Mm.
and I was just, like I was just continuously procrastinating things that I had to do for other people, but, like, if other people looked at me, they'd be like, "Well, she's got all of her shit done, like, why is" and it's like I
Okay.
couldn't even realize that I was doing that because I was like, "No, you don't understand, I have to take care of myself first." They're like, "Okay, well, we need to get this shit done," and I'm like, "Okay, but you don't understand, I need to take care."
Yeah.
So, it just came up in a way where I because that also would translate to, like, taking care of my feelings first, taking care of like, there was a whole thing there
There's a lot there.
where I think I made Nina, like, the center of the world a little bit, which I didn't
Mhm.
even mean to, because it's the center of my world, so then if you're in my world, it's so it was just a lot of things that came up that I realized was, like, coming from a place of fear and
Mhm.
lack of time, lack of resources, lack of this, like, there was just, like, this, like, fear mentality peeking through, and it was, like, holding me back from being in a flow state of, like, "Hey, if you check away from yourself, like, you're gonna be okay. You
Yeah.
can go do all this stuff for everyone, like, it's going to be fine." And I just had a moment of, like, a little bit of a meltdown. So Monday was for the plot, but the rest of the week, filler week.
Okay. I like that balance. I have one more question and then we can
Please.
move. But do you think that, because I've heard you say it on here, like when we talk about your routine, which is pretty fucking solid, like there's some of our
Mhm.
episodes about like your routine in your morning and you're working out and the discipline that you do have versus what I've struggled with, which is kind of the polar opposite. Do you think that were you in your head a little bit or you were maybe it was subconscious, but like if you don't do all of those things, like it's like a control, like a little bit of a control thing? Like
For sure. There's
like
definitely an aspect of that in there.
like because if I mean you guys had a big year, you Sam, you went through something very challenging. So it's like a lot of things you can't control, kind of constant disappointment, like all that
Mhm.
stuff happening. So to lean into things you can control keeps you sane, keeps you alive, keeps you going. But then
Yeah,
sometimes when things level back out, then you have to loosen up on that control of the other things.
exactly.
Okay.
That is exactly it.
So, but give yourself some fucking grace because you guys weren't just, oh, it's a hard time. Like that was survival mode. So,
It was pure
me,
survival mode, so
Nina's,
I went, like, full blown, and
yeah,
I think
yeah.
what's crazy is I didn't realize how much I was still in it.
Of course. You don't
But, like,
because
you don't
also
even
it's working for you too, but think about all the gifts that these routines and the it feels selfish, but like that's also growth. Like to get up every morning, be doing your shit like that not only was saving you, but it was also helping you grow in a bunch of other ways.
absolutely, and I'm not, like I still have my routines, I still do my things. Those
Yeah.
things are, like, rituals to the self for me.
Yeah.
I think what I and there's no issue with
With
that.
that.
I still do
Yeah.
my things,
Yeah.
but I was like the way I could describe it is like I get like stuck in my own head of like my own
Mhm.
things and where I'm only thinking about myself. And
Gotcha.
unless someone's coming directly to me and being like, I need X, Y, and Z from you, I'm like checked out. And I can like, and it's like a little bit of like a hermit mode, but like not like I just like recluse a little bit and like check out a little bit.
Yeah.
And I just get stuck into like my own hamster wheel. Um, and I was just like I was continuously dropping the ball for Sam. I was continuously dropping the ball for, like, my sister, and I just couldn't understand why I was dropping the ball because that's, like, not what I, like, do, and then I just had this, like, realization that I was like, "It's because 'cause I'm not thinking about
Yeah.
anyone but myself right now."
That makes so much sense. I'm asking a lot of questions selfishly because I think I'm similar in the fact where I'm all or nothing one of the way. One way or the other. So I'm either doing everything for everyone else, abandoning myself, and then I get fed up and I'm like, fuck this, I'm blah blah blah, and then all I'm doing is taking care of myself and I isolate and I like ignore people and I'm whatever and like I think to find the balance I'm doing better at, but I think it's like you have to be very aware
Yeah,
and open to your point, open.
I think sometimes I'm like, I have the balance down, and then something like this happens where I'm like,
And you're like,
no, I just you get ki
reevaluate.
yeah, you well, it's just life. It's continuously gonna humble you, like, when you think
Yeah.
you got it figured out, you're like,
Yeah, that's
"Oh."
right. That's fucking right.
And
I
that's
haven't
where it that's something that, like, I've was really hard for me to do too, is I would get really defensive when people would, like, point out faults in me, and I'd be
Mhm.
like, "No, blah, blah,
Mhm.
blah." But, like, I've really leaned into the fact that, like, if I trust my judgment. I trust if I have someone in my life that I trust the way they judge. I trust the way they see the world and that their opinion matters.
Right.
So when friends or Sam or, family or anything come up to me and they give me feedback, like being switching the mindset to like this person loves me and they care about me, and if they're giving me news, even if it's like hurtful news, like it's probably for my better good, and I need to receive this and digest it and think about it, because if it's triggering me, there's probably some truth to it, and that has saved me
Mm,
a lot of back and forth. So I'm proud of myself for that. But
I'm
yeah,
so proud of you. That's the hardest part
I
because you have to
know.
have a lot of self-confidence and grace
Oh
for
my
your
god,
own self, and we're the most hard on ourselves. So when someone's super defensive, it's because they're actually just
well,
hurting and upset with themselves. But if
no,
you can find, the grace and compassion for yourself, you can take notes better.
yeah, and I'm really, like, airing out my dirty laundry here, but I
No,
also
I don't think you
realized
are.
no, I mean, but it's just real, and,
Yeah,
if
it's real.
I'm
It's vulnerable, but I wouldn't call this dirty laundry, to be honest. But
but my realization, like, was truly that I was so avoidant to the shame, because I knew I was dropping the
mm,
ball. I knew I wasn't, like, being, like, the best, like,
mm,
partner. Like, I knew I wasn't, like if you degrade yourself, like, I knew, but I, like, couldn't, like and I just was avoiding the shame so hard.
yeah,
And the shame that's like a deep fucking ocean. I don't know if that's like that for everybody, but like
no,
once you're in
it's
that
it is.
ocean, like you literally like feel everything. Like I mean, I just like released, like cried for like hours, and it was yeah, I mean cathartic in a way. Like I felt great 12 hours later, but it was just
I think you did all the right things at that moment.
yeah.
That's the goal,
And then I took accountability and responsibility for I dropped the ball, and
and
then
you're gonna do
said
better.
and I'm gonna do better, and that's just it. That's life.
That is literally the goal. I'm being serious. Like, I don't
I
think
know, but,
like,
like,
I
fuck.
wasn't there for any of it. I don't know the details, and it still sucks. You just sit in it. You just sit in the mud. But, like, I mean, what more could you do? What more could you want for your growth? I mean, we're still so young. Like, you don't and even when you're old, like, how does this stuff not keep happening? It's just a part of it.
I know, and
But
it's like
we all put a lot of pressure on ourselves to have it figured out. And that my ego death this year of looking back and thinking I knew fucking everything at 18 years old is hilarious.
yeah.
But I really did. I really, really
But I
did.
really don't
Eh,
feel like I really did. No, I
I
agree with you.
really, really did. And I think there's a wait, this can veer into a conversation about the moon because I think that should I begin?
Begin.
Okay.
Start.
So, guys, we want to come in this season with a metaphor, I guess. Would we call it a metaphor?
Yeah. I told Sam we came up with a slang word, but he was like, "No."
And I can't take credit for it. One of my dear friends
Yeah,
helped me
no.
come up with this. Okay.
Never an original thought.
Never a original thought. But the concept is that specifically women have, I think anyone can have divine wisdom, but there's a divine, grounded, natural wisdom, maternal, nurturing, powerful, just this like intensity that women have in their bones, in their nature, whatever. And it's also constantly changing and shining and then hiding and moving. And through some hard times, a friend of mine and I are coming up with the concept of like being the moon. So it's like it's not about like it's about like working towards and flowing in your highest self, but it's not like you're the full moon all the fucking time. So like a full moon is peak, and that is like where everything is activated and it's intense. And this doesn't even mean all positive, but just like the intensity of like this wisdom and being a woman and kind of this goddess energy, like, where the waves are like when we have full moon in our universe, like the earth, like things are shifting, water is moving. We're 70% water, we are moving like that. You Google it if you think
Well,
we're
it's a
being fucking
chaotic
woo woo.
time,
I
like,
don't care.
it's chaotic. Your
Yeah,
dreams are
it's chaotic.
crazy, like,
The
your
You can
emotions
hear
are
the
high.
coyotes. You can
Yes.
actually look up that there's more, I think,
Yes.
nationwide at every full moon than there is any other time of the month. Okay, and then we have fucking periods all month. Like we have phases. Like we mimic the moon. in a million different ways. You could spin it in a million different ways.
Mhm.
So, and it kind of goes back to also the 4 seasons. Like sometimes we're big and bold and summer and the sun, and then sometimes we retreat and we're cold and we're nesting. So all of these like concepts or whatever come back to this like moon energy. And also it's just like a beautiful, fun symbol. I've always liked stuff like this, like with astrology and all these things. It's like, it's just fun. But I think this is like a really powerful metaphor for Nina and I right now, like late 20s, like, I could go on for a million years on this, but like specifically today, I'll probably like have to go on a soapbox, but like I think there's something for me really powerful about like the body and getting older and connecting to my body and how that has made me connect to my internal wisdom I'm talking about.
Mhm.
Do you see what I mean?
I do. I mean, it's like, have you ever heard the phrase, like, "Emotions live in the body"?
Yes.
Well, and just like a little
Emotions live in the body,
you
like
have you
everything.
have mini brains. You guys
Mhm.
can look this shit up and whatever. Look this
Yeah,
shit up.
whatever. We if you
They
don't
literally mini brains, what that I say when I say that, I mean like nerve endings type
yeah,
thing.
intelligence.
The same cells found in your brain in different clusters throughout your body that align
Mhm.
directly with your chakras, where it's like different areas of your brain hold different energy centers, and those energy centers contribute to like the flow, energetic flow of your body, but also your overall health and your
Mhm.
well-being. And I think a lot of autoimmune diseases can be tied to this, but now we're
Yeah.
getting a little woohoo, and maybe we get an expert on here to talk about
Yeah.
that. But all of that to say is we will be, I know we did in the first episode, we will be referencing We Are the Moon in times of like we are in a like a flow state between like highs, lows, mediums, in betweens, and like that's part of it, and embracing that aspect
Yeah.
of what
The
it
ups
is to
and
like,
downs of the
yeah,
phases. Yeah. Yeah, I also think to me the strongest part about the symbol is that it changes every day. It wanes and waxes, whatever the hell. And but it's always there,
even when you can't see it.
even when you can't see it.
Yeah.
And also, if you're strong in that and you're strong in your feminine energy, you're affecting a lot of things. And I think that goes back to your thing, your conversation, your openness of what you just shared. Um, Fortunately and unfortunately, like you're a powerful woman. So being conscientious of like how you move through the world in your family system, in your house, with your animals, with your partner, like you affect everyone all the time. And it's like a lot of pressure.
All the time.
But, like, unfortunately and fortunately, that is the
Mhm.
power of a woman,
Yeah,
right?
no,
And
it's
that's the power of the
undeniable.
moon. The
It's
moon is controlling so much even when it can't help it. It just is. So, like, I think if you can step into that power, also know when, like, you're a little crescent and you're just not up for, like, making shit go crazy. I don't know. I don't know, like, when the moon's the most I need to do some research because I think it would, like, also be cool to see
yeah, this is
the
kind of
real.
like an intuition thing that we had that
Yes.
we're just kind of, and that was kind of like we were talking, I was like, "Caroline, what do you want season 2 to be about?" And she was like, "Hear me out, the moon." And I was like, "Oh, okay. Sure.
Mhm.
I'm on
Mhm.
board always." I think it's about like in the first episode embracing like the rhythm
Mhm.
that you have, like recognizing like how much energy, like how much energy you have each day, honoring that, working with that, not against that. But it's also like, I think something cool about the moon, a lot of metaphors today, is how it's always changing to the beat of its own drum. It's
Mhm.
doing its own thing. Of course, it's like reliant on like things, it's
The rest of
rotating.
the
Right. Like
solar
it's
system.
part of the system and everything. Um I don't know. I think I like how it's like it's not the biggest, strongest thing in the solar system, like the sun affects so much and this is like almighty powerful thing that rises every day and goes down every day. And I just like can't relate with
Mhm.
that because I don't feel that way. And I like how the moon is this like it's small, it's like it doesn't attract a lot of attention, but also it's causing so much energy and like shifts to happen throughout, the world within people. And I relate to that. I relate to that
Yep.
a little bit. I think the moon is just, I mean, something sexy about the moon. Like, she operates
Hell
to the beat of
yeah.
her own drum. She's in her own energy. She does what she does, very non-apologetic about it, because she's just gonna be a full moon again, you know? It's not like, "Oh,
Mhm.
I was too full, so let me just," I don't know. And I think it's just, like, the metaphor is about, like, embracing your own energy and being unapologetic and, like, not shameful about your dips or your highs or your this, and, like, I don't know, because I know we've always
Right?
talked about that where it's like, "I was doing so good at something and I, like, failed and da da da," and that's always been, like, a thing for me.
You just started the episode, like, once you realize, like, these things that you've been maybe a little bit stubborn and rigid on, you looked back and you're like, "Dang, I don't know, like, now I'm changing my mind," and then you, like, drop to shame for a minute, but if you're the moon, that's what you were supposed to be doing at the time and how you flowed, and now you're in a new spot. It's never the same thing, and, like, I also think what you said, like, I love thinking about, like, the calendar year. If you pay attention to moons and, like, start looking up super moons and new moons and all these things, like, I personally connect with that because sometimes I feel like I'm bright and, like, I'm out there and I'm shining, and then other times, like, I could have no less interest, um, in showing up in that way, and I
Mhm.
just wanna observe. I just wanna, like, fall to the back, and it's genuinely just, like, how I feel in the moment. Even with the podcast, like, I think sometimes, like, we have different moods on here, like, different
Yeah.
amounts of whatever, and it's like, I don't know, I'm just really vibing with this. It's just a good one, and I think it's just, like, the phase that we're at, and, like, I I can't speak for anyone else but myself on this, but I've never felt more feminine than I do right now.
Wait, say more. Like, because are you saying, I mean, I don't think you're saying this, but, like, are you saying that you've like,
Not the stare not maybe
powerful? Like,
not
what is
the
it?
yeah, that's what the you can't encapsulate in one word. I guess if I had to describe it, I feel very in touch with my femininity and, like, not in the stereotypical, like, "Oh, like, she's so femme," like, or girly,
Yeah.
not that stuff.
No, we're not
But
talking like trad
no.
wife.
No, 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 no.
We are not talking
We're
trad
not
wife.
talking trad wife, we're not talking, like, pink and frilly and, like, the we're not talking surface level or even traditional norm feminine
Yeah,
roles. I'm
no one's
talking
baking a sourdough.
no, I mean, I want to bake sourdough, but it's different. You know
It's
what I
not
mean?
part of, like,
This
this thing.
yes. No,
Like,
no,
that's
no,
just
not
like,
part of
I
this
know.
conversation. And there are traditional female roles, like, I will want to step in my life because I think they'll come out naturally. But I mean feminine as in, like, we have feminine sides and masculine sides. Um, and I think that my feminine calling and, like, flow is happening as I get older, probably because my body wants to make babies and because I think I've taken a lot of control again of my physical health.
Mhm.
Like, I this is not to preach to anyone on what to do for your health, okay? I'm just sharing my experience. Don't I'm not a doctor, I'm not on anything, okay? Grain of
We're
salt
so
here.
scared of the internet people.
I'm so scared of the internet. Okay, but for me, I seriously, but
No,
it's so
seriously.
relevant, I have to give a little bit of a
No,
thing
I think just
to
lean in. Fuck
describe.
it.
Okay,
Yeah.
I got on birth control so young, I mean, I was 16, um, and at that point, I don't even think I had a regular period, like, I was a late my me and my brothers were late bloomers, like, across, so, like, I hit puberty later, like, I don't even think I had a regular period, went on birth control, and again, probably the right thing at the time, grand scheme of things, educationally, what we all know or whatever. That shit, for me, I don't think that I was even able to access a normal feminine rhythm on my own for 8 years. So, I felt crazy, I didn't feel good, my stomach hurt, I couldn't lose weight, um,
Like, your hormones
and
were just out of whack.
they're just not even your
Yeah.
hormones. So
Right.
again,
Right.
like, this is not for anyone to change what they're doing, I'm speaking from my experience. So once I got off that in 2020, 2 months after being off of it, I literally felt like a different person. My
Mhm.
brain, my body, I felt this what I'm talking about right now, like, a touch of the feminine that I couldn't you can't really put into words, I just felt it in my body, and I was like, "Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa." Okay, so then I have some trauma that coincides with getting off birth control, and then I really have to deal with 8 years of being on this right at the time where, like, my body's trying to mature. So, now something's I'm already at a huge whatever deficit or something that's not right. Then I have a traumatic, stressful situation on my body, cortisol is pumping, all these things. And a year into all this, I go to the OB and they're like, they do all the check scans, whatever, and they're not I'm unwell at this point, physically and mentally, and my period's not normal. I'm getting like periods from 38 to 45 days, maybe one doesn't
Mhm.
even show up. Like that's not good at 20, whatever age I'm at. I don't feel well. Everything's off. They do all the scans and they're not going to be diagnosing me with anything, but they're like, yeah, you're not from an internal ultrasound and blood work. They're like, you're not ovulating. So even if you wanted to get pregnant right now, you couldn't. No, do you want to have kids? And I'm like,
That's so
yeah,
scary to
I
hear.
know. I know. So I'm like, they're like, do you want to have kids? And I'm like, yeah, not right now. And they're like, okay, we'll see you next year. And I'm like, okay. Um, and like from the lack of education I have, like it's just all of this to say, it's just really upsetting that like we're raised with being pushed into these arenas and having to deal and cope. No one knows like no one teaches you anything. No one knows anything. Maybe some
Mhm.
households more than others, but or systems or schools or whatever, but I don't feel like I knew anything. So then from that point on, cuz me and my mom are sitting there being like, I know I want to have children one day. She's always kind of preached like cleaner products and, low medication, like whatever we could to try to avoid anything that like maybe we
Mhm.
were thinking about, but to actually implement that in your life and like see how it shows up in your body, like it's a fucking full-time job. So from that point on, I shifted everything. And I think that's why now where I am 5 years later is like finally feeling the effects of changing and doing so much to get to a point where my period's normal, my weight fluctuations aren't like that. Like I just feel the actual rhythm of my period. Like just like all these things that are specific to being a woman.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like I had to like
Totally.
work to get them, which is really just
Yeah.
based off all of that. So
Yeah.
I think when I say I feel the most feminine, again, I don't mean these like surface level appearance things. I mean it like in the
Like
most
like you feel
biological way.
connected, yeah, like you feel connected with your body.
Yeah.
Like, there's a flow happening.
There's a flow happening
Like,
literally,
you feel
physically,
connected
everything.
with your body, like, you're able to, like, listen to your body, you're
Mhm.
able to, like and then you're able to give your body what it needs, and then you're getting, like then you're seeing good results, right? Because 'Cause you're listening to your body, so the stress
Yeah.
is, there's, like, a cycle to it, and, like, I mean, God, what, like, a point of female rage that is of because it's not even, the hormones in the period I mean, I went on birth control in high school because I thought my boobs were gonna get bigger, and they didn't, and then I got a boob job 2 years ago, so, everyone's different. Everyone's
You
different,
gotta try all avenues.
and
That's
we're not here to
awesome.
judge. So, yeah,
No, no judgment.
but no, I still have an IUD. I'm curious. I don't even know myself without, having, like, the hormones and stuff.
And
That
that's
has the least
okay.
amount,
That's the thing.
if it's working for you, great. If you need there's a spectrum
Exactly.
here,
There's a
but
spectrum. Mine was
but
specific to me.
totally, and I think that there's a thing here too about something that, why I feel like so passionate about talking about this stuff and like talking
Mhm.
about the moon to ego deaths to flow to rhythm and femininity. Like it's all essentially the same thing that you just said, where we are not taught this. I mean, there was I'm pretty sure in health classes growing up, there was a whole section about how guys should watch porn to alleviate themselves and nothing about a hormone cycle for women. They're just like, and then you just stick this fake cotton up your vagina and go on about your day.
Yeah.
And, it's very interesting in hindsight of how deep and complex we actually are and how no one gave the time for it. And I think that's also set up in the world that we live in with the current systems of how people work and what the expectations are of human beings and things like that and how mothers are treated in society. I mean, I could go on and on and on about this bullshit.
I know.
Um but, be the change you wanna see in the world, that's why I feel compelled to talk about things like this. And I feel the need to say that, the essence of femininity is power. We are connected from, a spiritual level to a physical level, and then we also are like are a bridge between the two. The power that you are able to hold, and like you said too, like how much our energy affects others in a room. And
Mhm.
it's so fucking obvious how jealous people are of women, because why else would you be continuously putting us down for years?
Exactly,
Like,
they
be
can't
for
handle it.
real. I know a
They
bully
can't
when I see
handle it.
one. I know a
I
bully when I see
know.
one.
They can't handle it's so powerful, and you know what's so powerful about it? It's natural.
I
The
know.
power that people get from money and status and that's all external, first world, like, that is what we've come up with on the exterior. The power we're talking about is internal, has been around since the land before time. So
It's
that's
that
why people can't stand it, because, like, you everyone has it. And this is also not like some people have it, others don't. Every single woman has it.
yeah, it's
Every
goddess
single one.
energy. Goddess
And
fucking
men have their
energy.
own gifts. We don't I'm not gonna, like, speak on those today.
I
But
have I have no credentials.
yeah, I don't wanna speak for them, but they have gifts, and if we're the moon, I don't know what they are. Are they the sun or the earth? I don't know. But they can have their own metaphor and their own incredible amount of gifts and power and influence, but I think that, like,
And
I
and here's the thing is I want them to. I would love everyone to
Of
be the
course,
best,
there's no
most
us without
connected
them.
versions of ourselves, and, like,
Yeah, yeah.
the
Hell yeah.
only the goal here is to, like, pretty much say, like, "You're a powerful fucking creature. Lean the
Mhm.
fuck in.
That's right.
Embrace your
That's
cycles,
right.
embrace your rhythms."
Mhm.
We're gonna be doing that, and I wanna practice what we preach type things, so, like,
Mhm.
that's why I feel like it's important to tell you guys, like, I had a really hard time on Monday and had this realization about myself, but, like, here I am today able to talk about it. Like, I feel like Nina, like,
Exactly.
4 years ago, if that happened, I would've been, like, in a dark, scary place for, like, 2 months.
Yeah.
And it's so surreal to, like, once you embrace the flow of it and, like, you let yourself get sucked into the shame, 'cause I mean, you learn shit down there. It's the trenches.
I know. It's
Like,
good
you
it's
can't
good. You have to visit. You have to visit.
you have to visit.
I think you're so
Humble
right,
yourself.
though. For sure. You're so right, though. Like, okay, this is a good bringing it back to the moon and the period and all these feminine amazingness. If you're more in touch with, like, this flow we're talking about, which is, like, if a moon has phases all for 30 days and our period is about 30 days and we have phases, the luteal, the all this bullshit. Um, and you're having a really hard day or week, and you're connected a little bit more to, like, a deeper grounded place, like, you're most likely gonna move through that tough day or week
A
a little
surrendered
bit
place,
a
I think.
surrendered place.
A
Yeah,
where
yeah,
you're
it's
just yeah,
surrender,
a surrendered
surrender.
place.
To allow, you're more likely to move through that tough thing like you are like a PMS or a period. So it's like on the day 1 of your period, you're like, "God fucking damn it. I feel like shit. I'm bloated. I'm cramping. I can't get out of bed," or whatever. Like, you have to surrender to that, take care of yourself, sit in it. You have no other option. And then 3 to 4 days, 5 days, you'll be through it. And I think it's the same thing with like an ego death or like whatever you had on Monday. Like, you couldn't just not have it and you couldn't skip to day 5. So it's like to surrender to it and like let it flow through you, then you're on to the next thing. And then like it's going to happen again because we're constantly moving like that.
Dude, I just got a download of the
Mhm.
fact that, like, that's where the wisdom is. Like,
Mm.
as women, there's so much pain in being a woman, if you think
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
Like, like, there's so much pain. I mean, every month we're dealing with something,
Mhm.
childbirth to, like, just
Emotional, physical, all of it.
emotional yes, like, we deal with so much pain that it's almost as if our ability to experience that much pain is, like, probably where our wisdom lies as well. There's never been a time where I haven't sat in
Absolutely.
the shit that I haven't had the epiphany, and it's like, I think that's the hardest part,
Yeah.
um, is letting yourself kind of sit in there and really, like, have, like, a curiosity about it rather than a judgment or, like, a reach for a distraction. Don't get me wrong, like, 2 days after that when I was, like, having an emotional hangover, all I did was watch reality TV. I'm not
Yes.
saying, like, like, have a balance to it. Like, no
Yeah.
one out here is perfect, but I just think it's worth saying that, like, your power is found through and maybe that's for everybody, but then again, we're
I
talking to the
yeah,
girls.
we're talking to the girls, but it is for everyone. I think the other thing, like, I'd have to be vulnerable about on this episode is, like, I think that I learned along the way, like, I'd rather suffer than watch someone else around me suffer because of
Mhm.
my discomfort of watching them suffer, and it's really fucked up because really the truth is through all of my suffering, like, I've grown so much, I've become a better version of myself, all the wisdom
Yeah.
I have is from that, so why am I trying to rob someone else of their own suffering just because I don't wanna watch it?
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? So it's like when
Yeah.
you tell me that story of the week you had, I'm like, "Fuck, damn, I, like, hate that for Nina." But I also, like, view you as a really strong, powerful, resilient woman, so I'm not worried about you. You
No.
know, I
Yeah,
knew in a
yeah,
few
yeah,
days
yeah.
we'd be having this conversation and we'd be able to talk about whatever it was, and you'd be on the
No,
other side of it.
if anything, I want you, like, excited for the story and the
I
revelations you're gonna
know.
have and the new connections. Like, that's how I get that's how I'm fucking weird like that, where if you were to come to me and be like, "Hey, I'm at rock bottom," I'd be like, "Good for you."
You're like,
And
"Let's
I've
fucking go,
always
baby."
felt that way. Harder
I
easier said than done.
know.
If you're in the moment, you're like, "Fuck this."
I
But I
know.
agree with you. I just think that there is an aspect of I mean, there's just a correlation there between women's ability to move through pain, our, like, bandwidth for emotional suffering, um, our like, the fact that, like, we literally are, like we're, like, the digesters of, like, the emotional body of society at all times,
Right.
right?
Yeah, it's literally what
Um,
doesn't kill us makes us stronger.
yeah, and I think it's our responsibility to have an understanding and compassion about our own internal systems and, like, getting ourselves, to the best that we can be, and the strongest we can be, emotionally, physically too. Go lift some weights, bitches. But, like,
Mhm.
I don't know, and I just find so much power in that and, like, focusing on yeah, focusing on, like, finding that wisdom within yourself, and
Yeah.
that wisdom starts with intuition and everything. It's like building that trust with yourself, and then it
And
becomes something else, and I don't
And
know.
that's what I wanted to touch on, but I kept losing my train to come back to the, like, I think we've through the podcast and starting this season, like, keep kind of pointing at intuition and, like, trusting ourselves and trusting this process and, like, it's a little uncomfortable and it feels like I've had a lot of, like, "Who am I to have a podcast?" Or, "I think I know what I'm fucking talking about." Like, it feels like so whatever. So to, like, lean into that place and, like, know we're doing this from a place of, like, kind of a calling. I guess all of, like, what I shared and we're sharing, it's what I get I don't know, I don't know how to describe it. I guess what I'm saying is to finally have gotten to that point this summer and then through the
Mhm,
fall and now, I feel like I only got there probably part of because of the aging process and life experience, but also, again, the connection to my body.
mm,
Because when I went frazzled, nervous system fucked up, Caroline, I can't hear any of it. That's the fucked up thing, is, like, and a lot of it's not our fault. It's like life is so hard and our systems are so affected, like, even down to the perfumes we wear, like, everything is blocking us from
mhm,
this feminine natural like, the naturalness of our bodies and our intelligence because it's all synthetic, it's all poisonous, toxic, social media, all this shit, it, like, keeps you from what the thing I feel way more connected to now than I did a year ago, and then a year before that, and then a year before that. And fortunately, like, it's hard to look back to think, um, you know, as soon as you come into your womanhood, there's a chance you get on this thing
mhm,
that is really necessary because most of us shouldn't or wouldn't wanna be having children in our teen years. So it's really tricky because it's like there's no perfect solution to what I feel like my situation was, but all I can say is like, "God, what a good fucking feeling to feel like I know I can hear my own inner voice."
yeah,
Does that make sense? Instead of
yeah.
looking on the outside to find it. I'm like, "Where is what? I don't" all the time. You know
Well,
what I mean?
I feel like that's what's so complex about, like, talking about things like this is I feel like people always come in from an angle of, "I found the right answer, I'm gonna share it
Yes.
with you, and if you
Yes.
don't follow this path, you're wrong." And then the
You're
next person
bad,
comes in and does the same thing.
or you're
Eh,
stupid, like, all that.
where and which defeats the whole purpose of the whole point, which is
Yeah,
get connected with your listen to your own self, listen to your own intuition. Like,
exactly.
this guys, just food for thought. if anyone ever comes to you and says, "Hey, you need to think this way and act this way," that person is not on your side. Whether it's like a guru or a friend, big sisters get a pass. I'm just kidding. Love
No,
you.
I mean,
Love you,
I
Victoria. But
yeah.
like, but because I've definitely done that to my sister. So whatever.
Sometimes too, your stubbornness, someone could be saying something to you that you do need to hear. So it's like, it
Totally.
depends. It depends.
Yeah, no, I'm just making a joke. But like my whole point with that is like when you're listening to like gurus and spiritual guides and or motivational speakers and things like that, pay attention to people, friends also especially, that lead you to listen to yourself rather than listen to them. If someone's saying, "Hey, I have the like wisdom and everything, but you need to
Mhm.
go through me to get it," that's
Mhm.
not that right there is the devil. That right
Yeah,
there is the damn devil.
that's red flag.
That's a red flag. But
Yeah.
so just, that's the thing. And like to what you're saying, this is a full gray area conversation. That's why it's uncomfortable. That's why it's weird. That's why it's triggering. And that's why there's so much wisdom in it because it is all those things.
Yeah, and I think that when I if you I think our job is to speak about our own experience.
Exactly.
And then because I've listened to so many podcast episodes, I've done so many weird fucking therapy things and seen so many health practitioners, there's not one of anything that's a Bible to me. Like,
Mhm.
none of it. Literally not none of it, not one thing.
It's just
I
nuggets of
take Yep,
yeah.
I take what I want from each person, each experience, and then I use it for my own because it's just different for every person.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's tricky is that we want the answer. We want one thing to fix it all. We want
Mhm.
one thing to make us feel better, to know more, to be more secure, it's just like
To
fix me,
be
fix the
right.
situation, take my pain away.
To be connected
Um
by power through being like, I don't
yeah,
know. There's a lot of like shit
yes.
online that's like learn how to like manipulate better and things like
Quick
that, which
fix, quick
yeah,
fix.
yeah,
Yeah.
like a quick fix to like find your power. And it's like
Yeah,
true power doesn't need to it just is. It's not found. It just is. And it's already
that's
there
right.
within you. It just needs to like you need to take the wet blankets off of it. You don't need to find it. It's not anywhere other than living within you 24/7. And I think that's a great like this is a great kind of like build up for season 2 of like this is going to be a huge focus for us. Like if we interview women in business, like these are the kind of questions I'm going to ask, like of how can you like how do you listen to your intuition, how do you follow your own rhythm when it comes to your workflow and things like that, and to interviewing maybe even experts on this stuff of that understand things way more than we do, all in the pursuit of understanding our own
Mhm,
power to
mhm.
be better, more well-rounded humans, friends, partners, parents eventually, dog moms, like whatever it is. There is an empowering thing. Oh my God, it's all coming back together in
Yeah.
knowing this stuff about yourself. And
Wait,
that's what we want.
we're just like dropping wisdom bombs right now, but I'm pulling up Instagram really quick and I'm looking at saw it this morning. Also, guys, Catherine O'Hara passed away today.
Yeah, that's actually wrecking me beyond.
Holy
That's wrecking me.
shit.
I'm
What?
gonna
I mean,
rewatch Schitt's Creek and Home Alone.
yeah,
Actually, I just watched Home Alone.
absolutely. Absolutely. What a legend. Okay. Sorry. I had to say that
71.
because I know. I think maybe she had like an underlying thing. All right. I have to pull this up. Okay. This is Sarah Blakely. Has some good, she's like funny, but she has some good
She's a
quotes
quirkster.
and yeah, she's a quirkster. She's one of one. So we always love a one of one.
Mhm.
One of one. We love a female billionaire also. Like, let's fucking go.
Yeah.
But this quote I think goes with the mission of our podcast, which we're still figuring out. But season 2 leaning into a little bit more of like this natural feminine energy that doesn't have to do with business, but leads us to like be creators and push through. It's all related to us. So it's not going to be just business questions and it's not going to be just health and wellness questions. It's not going to be just self-improvement. It's not going to be it's going to be, to me, a little bit of everything. So this says, your business will expose every unhealed part of you. Your abandonment issues show up when clients leave. Your scarcity mindset shows up in your pricing. Your control issues show up in your inability to delegate. Entrepreneurship isn't just a career path, it's an involuntary therapy that forces you to confront who you really are. So I loved seeing that because I feel like we started the podcast. Shit. Are you still there? Okay. Sorry. I just fucked up
Yeah,
my
you're good.
screen. I feel like we started the podcast a few years into like our business relationship, knowing each other very well, but like wanting to scratch a huge itch of like our own independent journeys with work, finances, entrepreneurship,
It was just like
independence,
of becoming, of like
becoming.
what are we in this world?
Right.
What are we in this society? What do we contribute? Is it really just wallpaper? Is it really just like
And what
where
is
does
it?
the power lie? Like that's like
Because to be
where it was coming
right.
from.
And we want to be successful. Nina and I want to be rich. We just do. So I think at the end of the day, like opening up that door very quickly because of our personalities and what we were already interested in, very quickly turned into, whoa, this whole thing, basically the artist way, this whole thing is a lot. This is going to like uncover a lot. This is going to bring up a lot. So it's very like, oh man, I already feel like I was so vulnerable in this episode. It's just a lot. But I think it's our way.
Through.
It's
It's
our
our
way
way through.
through.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess like our first few episodes are just chatting and getting through like what we want season 2 to be and
Setting the tone.
setting the tone. Setting the tone. So yeah, I don't know. I love it.
I love it too. And I love you. And I'm
I
very
love
proud of
you.
you.
Yeah, I'm so proud of you. I'm proud of you for this week and your realizations and your ego death.
More to come.
Okay.
All right. Peace out. Peace out, listeners.
Okay.
We love you.
Love
I
you
know
so
this
much.
abrupt ending. Love you. Bye.